Hello and welcome back to the Future Mobility channel from Ricardo Strategic Consulting. I'm Mike Blythe, Principal within Ricardo Strategic Consulting. Today I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues. We've got Bavli Obaid, Senior Business Analyst, and Bobby Cam, Business Analyst, both within the European team. On the Future Mobility channel, you know we talk about relevant and disruptive trends within the future of transport. And today we're going to be talking about connected vehicles and specifically connected services. So, throwing a lot of terms out there. Let's start by offering an explanation. So, Bav, could you tell us a little about what we mean by connected vehicles and why they're relevant, please?
Sure, thank you, Mike. So let's start with saying a connected vehicle is defined simply as a vehicle that can connect to devices in its environment, its surrounding, to transmit and receive information at a very fundamental level. Now, this isn't new. Connectivity has been around for a while and has been long debated in the automotive industry, but only recently has it actually penetrated the market, and that's really due to a couple of things. First of all, is improvements in cybersecurity, and secondly, a reduction in system and development costs. So we expect connectivity in the automotive sector to be revolutionary. There are various forecasts out there that claim that by 2025, we expect over 90% of vehicles sold in the UK to be connected in some form. And connectivity will allow for many new services that haven't really previously been enabled. So, for example, we hear a lot about over-the-air updates, and the benefits of these services can be huge. So, in 2018, if we recall back, Toyota recalled 2.4 million Prius and Allroad hybrid vehicles for a software update. Things like this, in theory, could be avoided when we have the ability to connect to cars through over-the-air updates and make changes like that. So these benefits are obviously magnified with a higher uptake of connected cars. And looking forwards, when we talk about autonomous vehicles and level 4 autonomy, will rely on connectivity quite significantly. So it's really important that we have the infrastructure in place so that we can streamline the rollout of this of the level 4 connected vehicles.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, the changes are going to be pretty fundamental. Let's focus in on some of the benefits there. So, Bobby, can you talk about some more of the benefits of connected vehicles and the respective services, please?
Yes, of course. Thanks, Mike. So, yeah, as Bavli mentioned, over-the-air updates is a huge benefit in terms of safety and being able to ensure that all vehicles are operating at the same software level. We're also seeing an increase in consumer demand for smartphone-style features and connectivity in the vehicles. And now with the technology available, that's able to be brought into the vehicle. OEMs are responding to this, and they're now focusing more on connected services as a way to differentiate themselves from their competitors. When considering some other potential connected services, there's some clear safety benefits by the ability to share information in real time, both vehicle to vehicle and vehicle to infrastructure. So the two main needs here for connected services are consumer driven and also safety driven. And some initial legislation such as eCall from the European Union is starting to drive the introduction of that.
Great, okay. And so, this is a developing trend, although connected services are here today already. So, what are we beginning to see from the OEMs, Bobby?
Yes, so when researching with some of the OEMs, their initial offerings in connectivity, there's some of the features around navigation, so live traffic updates, where real-time information about traffic conditions can be shared to vehicles. There's also vehicle status monitoring, where customers can access information about their car via their smartphone. And then there's also now media streaming over cellular, which can maybe replace some previous radio entertainment. And there's also vehicle to infrastructure communication, such as traffic light communication.
Yeah, so lots more feature coming. We hear a lot about the rollout of 5G LTE communications. So presumably that's going to help. That's going to sort of allow even more functionality. So what sort of features and services can we expect to see coming in future with 5G, for example?
Yeah, so when comparing 2G to 5G, 5G is much higher speed, up to 10,000 megabytes per second, and a much lower latency, as low as 1 millisecond. Now, this is really important for those safety critical features, such as sharing information in real time. And as we look to the future with autonomous vehicles, this will be especially important. So 5G is really an enabler for those autonomous driving features. One of the problems, however, with 5G is currently it's only in its early stages of rollout. And we expect that at the moment only some premium vehicles will be equipped with 5G, whereas in 2030 we expect over 70% of vehicles will be equipped with 5G.
Yeah, great. And so this is all very cool. I think we know from many examples that widespread adoption of any particular technology is only going to come when there's a really positive business case for it. So can you tell us a little bit about the monetization potential for some of these connected services, please?
When considering the value chain, we see significant value downstream, particularly with connected services, which creates an entirely new revenue opportunity, whether this is for OEMs, tech companies, or third-party organisations, such as e-commerce. We also see that traditional after-sales services, such as service and repair and insurance, can also expand their offerings with preventative maintenance or onboard diagnostics or remote diagnostics, and also stuff like fleet telematics and also usage-based insurance. These can all take advantage of connected services and that connectivity. Thinking about how vehicle data can be used, OEMs can use the vehicle data to streamline their product development processes and also to focus in on areas such as warranty bill, where vehicle data could be useful to reduce that warranty bill. There's also opportunity for suppliers to adjust their business models, both with the supply of hardware and software to support these connected vehicles. So considering the whole value chain, there's opportunities all the way from start of production and product development all the way to 5 years into ownership to add value.
Great, thanks, Bobby. So we talked about the whole value chain there, and lots of different companies, lots of different services. The OEM, at least today, is still very much central to this. So what can OEMs do to maximise the benefits from connected vehicles? And that's to you, Bav.
Yeah, great question, Mike. I think you make a great point there that OEMs can, in some ways, be seen as the gatekeepers to unlocking the monetization potential of data. So really, OEMs need to make sure that they prioritize the opportunities that make the most sense for them, and the reason for this is because the route to market will have to be bespoke. So bespoke solutions are really required for different use cases, and we have loads of different use cases, just as Bobby mentioned. So the idea here is that the OEM will need to start at the customer end, identify those key use cases that make the most sense to them for them to pursue and develop. And that's considering both internal and external use cases, so how the OEM can benefit the most from this activity as well, because there's going to be quite high investment involved. And then prioritize those use cases by assessing the business case and identifying some of the operational and cost synergies, etc. And then finally, look at forming an implementation roadmap, so considering whether they're going to go greenfield and create something on their own, or whether they'll need to create some more strategic partnerships to enable these services to be to go to market, essentially.
Yeah, great. And so I guess we're talking about the development of new capability here. So how would an OEM look at whether to sort of develop that in-house organically or whether to partner externally and just go down that route?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think it really comes down to the scale of the operations and the OEM's level of control. So when we start to look at the industry in its growth phases, so today and maybe over the next 5 years, when OEMs are just about making the most of the connectivity technology and looking to create those services, this is when we expect to see what we call connectivity providers who will come with a solution that offer all of the different parts of the value chain together. When the industry then grows and matures a little bit further, I think this is when we expect OEMs to benefit quite a bit from economies of scale. And of course, there's always going to be a level of concern around the amount of control that you have on data. And this is where we expect actually the majority of the activities in the value chain to be held within the OEM. But obviously, it may take some time to do that and require some significant investment. So for that, OEMs will certainly need to consider lifetime revenues, just as they do, for instance, when they consider developing electric vehicles.
Great point there about the lifetime revenue. Thanks, Bev. So we've come up to pretty much our time limit there. I would say look out on our website for a white paper in this area and also a eStore report coming soon. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Bobby. We'll be back soon with another video right here on the Future Mobility channel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. It's been my pleasure.